There, I hope you're having a great day. As part of our TDA Talk series, I'm joined by the newish Director of UX for Grafana Labs. Now, some of you may recognise him as one of our panellists from the Future Design event that took place in November last year. Dmitry, I'd love it if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kim. So, as you mentioned, I am fairly new into my role as the director of UX at Grafana Labs. Grafana is around 1,300 folks worldwide, fully remote, working on what we believe to be the best observability product suite on the marketplace. So, essentially, helping engineers at all kinds of companies understand how their software is performing for their users. I have been here for about 60 days, and I have the privilege of leading a 30-strong organization of UX designers, researchers, and managers who are based on all 6 continents. I've been doing design leadership now for about 8 years or so at startups, scale-ups, enterprises, and this is a very exciting and interesting time, certainly to be stepping into this new role.
Great. Well, you mentioned you're almost 3 months in now. Can you give us a bit of an insight into your new role and what you want to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, Grafana Labs works on observability tools. So these are very technical tools for folks who are very technical themselves for a variety of different user personas. And we have been extremely successful at helping the early adopters make sense of observability, make sense of how very complex software packages and stacks operate and the experience that they deliver to these tools users. Now we're at a point organizationally where we cannot just rely on adding value for the early adopters anymore. We need to add value to engineers who are not observability experts, which is the vast majority of engineers and software
Mhm.
developers around the world. And so my role, the role of my team, is very focused on getting us to that point in the journey.
Yeah. Wonderful. And how does that differ from your previous roles? And are there any immediate challenges that you face?
I think what is interesting and challenging for me here at Grafana is that we are a deeply engineering-led organization. And yet we are an organization whose engineers and engineering leaders realize are, first of all, very business aware and realize that as a business, we need to adapt to the needs of this expanded user base. And in fact, our CTO did an interview last month where he specifically talked about the biggest goal for his organization being tackling complexity in observability. So from that perspective, this is a very interesting role for me because on the one hand, we are challenging and pushing the culture here along to become more focused on the users who are not early adopters. But also, on the other hand, we have a tremendous amount of executive support and support across leadership throughout the organization.
That's always good. So what will you do to ensure then that design is recognized as a revenue generator for the board of directors?
It's very much tying back to what I previously said. As a business, we have grown to a point where we've essentially saturated our total addressable market.
Yeah.
The early adopters by and large, all or many of them, at least around the world, know and love and use Grafana tools. Now, as a business, in order to 10x our growth, we need to we need to better add value to the engineers who are not early adopters of observability tools. And so even though obviously UX is not a revenue generating function per se, if we are effective at doing our jobs and at enabling our product and engineering teams and all the other cross-functional partners that we work with to ship a new generation of products to our users that can not only add value to the early adopters, rather, but add value to the rest of the folks out there who want to understand their software, their stacks, and how it performs in real life conditions for their users, then as a business, we will be able to grow. We will be able to 10x and beyond. So we're not a revenue generating function,
Yeah.
but we absolutely need to be successful in order to for the organization to grow and be successful.
That's brilliant. And obviously, with that, no doubt you're going to be growing the team then. I take it if people are interested in Grafana, they should obviously follow you and look out for some of the roles that you may be hiring for in your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, Grafana is has been subject to the same macroeconomic challenges as most other
Yes.
organizations out there. We are not hiring for the UX organization at the moment. However, we absolutely hope to restart growing the organization again as the macro situation improves and as we hit our business goals, hopefully either in the next quarter or in the second half of the year. And the exciting thing with our opportunities at Grafana is that, as I mentioned, we are a fully remote company. And for a lot of our roles, we hire in various locations around the world. So definitely looking forward to that point and to being able to look at a diversity of folks around the world as we restart growth, hopefully later on this year.
Great. We'll definitely look forward to seeing that. And just out of interest, Dimitri, what does the future design look like for you?
Yeah, from my perspective, I know there's been a lot of doom and gloom
Yeah.
in our industry. I know that times are tough for a lot of folks, for a lot of organizations, for a lot of design orgs out there. I think that that this is a phase. I think that we will get through it as an industry and emerge stronger as long as we are able to tie the work that we do and our influence to the businesses that we operate in and the users that we add value to. And the more effective we are at that, the stronger we'll emerge.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing more from you and Grafana Labs. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kim.